and mess around and lose more than we gain. And that is pretty much the perspective of labor. And I respect, I love him. Shout out to Sean Francois and the team, Local 372, and all y'all other brothers that got my back like a chiropractor. However, don't be afraid of the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the strength is in the numbers. And one of my mentors, who will remain nameless at this table for various reasons, she said to me, we just need to be a little more adamant in our organizing. You know what I'm saying? She said to me, and this has been a conversation, she said unto me, she said, if the labor go out and knock doors and go hard, like they've been doing and what they're known to do, then there's nothing to really be afraid of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And from the way it looks, and it's been a very, ping pong conversation, the way it looks, there might be the high probability that this stuff might pass.
I mean, if you look at the numbers,
Yeah, the numbers say
you look at, I think it was the Guardian did a poll,
85%.
and it's looking like
85% would vote.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, what I love about the Constitution Convention is that it gives the power back to the people.
Right. Open up
now,
the books.
is once we open those books, people better be ready to organize.
See, that,
because you guys
are we ready?
But wait a
Are we
minute.
ready, though?
But
You got
is that yes, right?
Yeah.
But we're organizers here, right?
We're organizers, yeah.
And let's be real here, right? As organizers, we are not on the same. It would take a lot of mobilization, and unfortunately, our people. The poll went out recently. 85% of people said that they would vote yes for the Constitutional Convention. I think 83% said they don't even know what it is. So do we want to play with that? You know, unless you knew you had a real force, unless you knew you had your soldiers aligned and ready. And this goes back to educating, right? Empowering. All right, let's go. These are the tools. This is what's at stake. And trust me, unions are like beefing it up and amplifying that. Like, this is what's at stake, y'all. Your pensions, you know, your right to collective bargaining. Everything is at stake.
What we have
Do we want to risk that?
What we have to also take into account is once the Constitution is ratified, once we have these amendments, the folks have to vote on them.
That's right.
Right? So it's like once we go in and we open up the books, right? Like me, I want an independent prosecutor. Every time a cop kills an unarmed person. I don't care what color you are. I want to see that. This is something that I would love to see inserted in there, for me personally, right? So once you have these amendments, then the people have the right to vote on it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a two-tier system. I see the pros and I see the cons, but there's a two-tier system. Therefore, if we vote and open it up, folks get elected and they create this new set of laws, the people have the chance to vote on it again, right?
That's right.
If they approve on it.
There needs to be a campaign for massive education of our communities.
There you go.
Because
There you go.
you said 83% don't even know what
it
the
is, but 85%
convention
will
is.
vote yes for it.
Exactly. How do those numbers correlate to what is actually happening, like on the ground? Not everyone in New York City had a chance to vote in this poll from The Guardian, right? So we're saying that it's 83%, but that number is probably way higher.
But I think it is. Because as being boots on the ground, there are people who are saying that they feel like, oh, no, my pension won't be, someone gave me this literature that read, because who is funding this? It's private interests and corporations.
Let me keep it on buck with you.
Real quick before I lose my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
So we also, when you look at who is in Congress, when you look at the White House now, you have to ask yourself, well, what happened with the Tea Party movement, right? They mobilized people. They bamboozled a lot of people.
Yes, they did.
That's right.
They fooled a lot of people.
That's right.
Yes, they did.
So you have these private interests, lobbyists, who are now elected.
That's right.
So you have special interest in the
White
office.
House. Yeah. They ain't even lobbying no more.
And like Hawk said, follow the money. And so these people are funding savvy, slick literature, fancy commercial advertisements, hoodwinking and bamboozling everybody and believing that, no, we're not gonna touch your pension. We're not gonna do that. This is good for you.
Right.
The education, unfortunately, in terms of raising money on the union's behalf, we're getting outspent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's just like how
over here
That's
fighting against
absolutely correct.
well, let me.
We fight against billionaires.
I don't know if that's correct. I don't know if that's accurate. There's been like over 25 million for the no vote put into this, right? To vote no.
I heard it
And
was a
those
lot
same
more than
people, yeah, it might be a lot more than that. And I know it was 25 million a little while ago, right?
Okay.
So I don't think you're being outspent. But what my problem is, and like, let me tell you, I see the devil in the Dems. I see the devil in the Republicans. I'm pro-people. So what I'm saying for the people is all these people who are against it, they're not educating people. They're just saying you're going to lose your pension.
Right.
I'm going to scare the crap out of you.
Scare
I'm going to
tactics.
scare the crap out of you.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
educating people, and that's
that's
what it
oppression.
has to be.
Yeah.
If you care about people, educate them
Right.
and allow them to come to the conclusion that you want them to arrive at.
So I wanted to touch on a lot of the organizations in our communities are not run by people that look like us.
Right.
And so when we talk about the other side, I also feel like the other side is infiltrating our communities and have us running around, you know, in blackface,
Right.
you know, organized around this and that and the third, but we're the ones not having the conversations that really matter.
Right.
You know, and so that's been my like issue with the
Right.
movement is like, this is what needs to be focused on. I know you're getting paid for this.
Right.
You're getting grant money for this. But that's not the most important thing. And we keep hearing the same thing. And we're knocking on doors and we're telling people, yeah, we can do some, but we're not doing what needs to be done because this is how we get
This is how
paid.
we
Right.
get paid.
You know what's
That's right.
real?
That's right.
You know what's real? I just want to make a quick point.
Yeah.
I'm known as an egomaniac to some, right? Sometimes they throw the word tyrant at me, right? But I let everybody know, when you come to me to negotiate, you're going to respect that doctorate degree.
That's right.
Okay? You're going to respect that business degree. And you ain't going to treat me like I'm some black person who's supposed to just jump up and jump on your cause just because it's good for the people.
Right.
No.
Right.
You know what? You're going to give some jobs to my folks.
That's right.
Okay? You're going to talk about some legislation with your politicians for my folks.
Right.
You're going to talk to me about power like you would talk to a white person
That's right.
sitting in this seat.
That's right.
And then it's like, oh, this nigga done lost it. You're done. And that's it. Leave him over there.
Right,
And that's
right,
fine.
right.
Because
We
you know
need
what?
that.
The next time you come and talk to me,
You're going to come correct.
you're going to come
You're
correct.
going to come
That's right.
correct. I love
That's
that.
right.
I love that.
You know, you know, we have such an upside down kingdom right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think the sister said it, and I think this has kind of been like an overall anthem, which is education. You know what I'm saying? The communities are not being educated, and I like to turn the beloved youth, the boogeyman, because we don't know no better, so we're being scared. And to me, fear is a form of oppression. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because it's like the invisible gun in
Psychology.
somebody's hip, and it's a form of mental warfare.
Absolutely.
It's incumbent on us. So I'm looking at this sister right here, and basically all of us at the table, we might be considered OGs, but in comparison to the three young ladies here, but it's incumbent on everybody here to make a conscious effort to do the educational piece.
That's right.
You know what I mean? What I do outside of just, you know what I'm saying, organizing, you know, I'll stand with the brother because I know that he stands with cause and purpose. You know, we move with cause and purpose, but on the side, because sometimes people who, so now he, you know, you're a household name now, beloved. You know, look, they say he's like all, look,
Do God.
you know what I'm saying? So, and I say that, and here's where I'm going with it, because if you holler, they gonna come, right? But some of them might be coming, because sometimes we'll say, yo, we just want the numbers. But I want the numbers, but I want you to understand the cause and the purpose why we here.
Right.
Don't be walking
Right.
consciously unconscious because you just want to dance to a drummer's beat. You following a Pied Piper.
Right.
Understand what we out here for.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so that's where education is key. That's when it becomes the most pertinent piece of what we're here for. Because when they walk away and they see you out there and you out there with Cracker Bar, can I say Cracker Bar? Cracker Bar. When you out there and you standing and you telling them that, yo, listen, we have a right to speech, we have a right to be here, and you standing amongst, you in the belly of the beast, you know what I'm saying? They need to understand what that was about.
Right.
It's the parable of the brother taking a knee.
Yeah.
Understand the cause and the purpose of why we doing what we do.
Right.
You know, I get very emotional, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that there's a triple state of darkness that's plaguing our people. You know what I mean? And I come from a school of educated, you know, we were streetwise, you know, we could go out there, cut the mustard, pass the grape poupon, however y'all like it, we're gonna do it. But we were highly educated. You know what I'm saying? Because people took the time out so that we could find out and not be, you know, victimized. You know,
Remember the 5%ers?
I be that.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I was just going. That's what I was saying. Yo, listen, me and the sister right here, we was just saying that, you know what I'm saying? Because let me just say this real briefly. I was educated by the first 9 born. I got knowledge of stuff when I was 9 years old. 9. They taught me Supreme Mathematics. I knew and understood 120 lessons before it was even fashionable.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? So we had that black consciousness. So when I talk about triple stages of darkness and consciously unconscious, I'm saying that because that's what I was taught as a youngster, you know what I'm saying, to know that education is power.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So now when I was in the 6th grade, they told me, I say, light travel 186,000 miles per second, 109,940,000 square miles on the planet Earth. They said, oh my God, Russell, how do you know that? Because it was a riff. Because the reading was fundamental.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So we came in there dropping bombs on them. You know what I mean? And so it's the same formula. It's the same formula that has to be applied to our today, to our millenniums, to our seed, because the seed is the understanding, and the understanding was the best part. That's what they taught us in our mathematics. So that they don't grow wild, they grow in style, but they grow with education, so they blossom. You know, that's what this is about.
You gotta bring that back, bro.
Yeah.
I know.
Absolutely.
But this is where it starts.
That's
so
right.
I give my
Oh,
props
that's
to
right.
you because it has to be some kind of forum where there's some dialogue going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now you get props because you gave us a place to have dialogue. You get props because you gave us a platform to speak. You get props because you gave us organizing. You get props because we provide education on food, clothing, and shelter. And this is the cornerstone from the cornerstone.
That's
You know what I mean?
right.
You know what I mean?
That's
That's what we do.
I love that.
And I walk there.
That's it.
You know, so yeah, I'm blessed to be here.
I'm
Turn the
sorry.
tables over. Turn it up.
We from the X.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
right.
Turn it up.
Right.
So yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I feel that.
You touched on let's take a knee. How does what's going on in the NFL right now really bring attention to what's going on in our communities?
I just think that, and I'm gonna be real brief. They made it about something that it's not. You know, and that's all I can say, because this ain't about no anthem and no flag, because y'all burn crosses. Get out of my face.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying, this is about a brother standing for something when y'all thought it was nothing. You thought it was okay to murder our kids, because if it wasn't for that, this man wouldn't be out there every day hooting and hollering and trying to make us be a unified body as well.
That's right.
So this ain't about the NFL. Y'all can take that bull somewhere else, because this ain't what it is. This is about understanding that you ain't gonna murder us and think that it's okay, and didn't have us singing a song where y'all talk about murdering us anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you want to raise your 13 bars and your 13 stars because you the master. Like, I do math. That's my thing. So don't come at me with that, because I get crazy. I get crazy.
I love it.
So I don't subscribe to that.
Yeah.
I don't.
You know what's bananas to me, all right? Because now you got to understand, I get it from a lot of areas. I get it from the revolutionaries, then I get it from, you know, working class, black America. Some might be in the upper echelon, right?
Yeah.
I'm American.
Okay.
That's right.
I'm a Pan-Africanist, right?
right.
And I believe all of us are unified across the globe. But like, we built this country.
That's right.
Black people built
this country.
this country. It's not like, you know, and I'm not knocking anybody who any immigrant or anything like that. But you gotta understand, we put 400 years into this.
That's right.
The monuments we built, the economy we built. We built America.
That's right.
That means you mean to tell me I'm going to build something from the ground up and I'm going to just get mad and walk away and let you have it? You must be crazy.
I dig it.
So when I have an autistic son, 14 years old, call him Chili Willie. His name is William, right? Chili Willie. And he's nonverbal, right? But that flag, before Colin, when it came on, when they sung the Star Spangled Banner, we stood up. We was watching games in our house. We stood up.
Wow.
Like, patriotism is real.
Right.
I have family members in the service who fought and bled. Like, it's real for me.
Right.
So when I had to decide to dishonor the flag, it was serious. It wasn't like, oh, this is the thing to do. Colin's mad. Police brutality. It was like, it means that much. I'm taking this knee because America has not lived up to its end of the bargain for my people. So now I'm like,
there you go.
F your flag, right? But make no mistake about it. That's still my flag.
Right.
You know what I mean? But until it gets right, I can't honor that symbol.
Right.
That's just how I feel. Not everybody in my group.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel as a person.
And we ain't unpatriotic. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, I feel like I was just recently in Columbia, South Carolina, celebrating my homecoming. And I was sitting outside on my friend's porch. It was maybe like 15 of us. And literally, we were talking about right to work. South Carolina's a right to work state. He was telling me how he went through 5 different jobs in a year for how him being bold and courageous to speak up to his employer and say, you're not gonna call me boy. You're not gonna talk down to me. Know what, you're fired. Because when you're in a right to work state, they have that right to.
That's right. That's right.
We're sitting down talking about right to work and the work I'm trying to do in upstate New York, mobilizing people around it. And literally, a few feet away from us are his neighbors, who were predominantly white, saying they were cracking jokes, and he was like, "That's right, officer. They're over there. Go search them. Go check those niggers out."
Wow.
I froze because I just looked at him like, like this is normal, and unfortunately, in his world, it is.
It is.
And it was just a shock for me. It was a shock for me.
We're going to pull up.
Because we all froze.
We're going to pull up on it.
We froze because we were like, this is when I was reminded about what I'm supposed to do. Like, this is when I turned into an activist.
That's right.
Jena 6 was my very first protest in my life. And they didn't report the accurate numbers. It was millions of people out there.
That's right.
So that was the first time, but it reminded me like what's happening in the South, and not just in the South, like with racism, because out there is in your face, and in this up the North is institutionally hidden.
Right.
So make no mistake about that. Had I not gone through what I went through in South Carolina, I would have never came home with that sharp, alert
That's awesome.
awareness about, wait a minute, I know what this is, but dang, this is so systemic here. That's dangerous.
It's comatose.
But bringing it back to the point about taking a knee, I just feel it's unfortunate, but we have such, especially millennials, it's like a microwave society. Things are trendy and it's cool to follow movements and follow a cause in terms of like really getting people to care, to come out to a rally for a Black Lives Matter movement. We should have everybody out in these streets.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
When it comes to a brother getting shot for selling CDs in New Orleans, or I get a flat tire, and I have a father, we have siblings. You know, we're walking while black.
That's right.
In America.
That's right.
I don't feel like I don't feel safe.
That's right.
I feel policed.
That's right.
Whether it's from a look, whether it's from, you know, just like, if I'm African American on this job, like, why do we even have to think like that psychologically?
Right.
That's psychological
Warfare.
Absolutely.
warfare. It's like you're still in. So
And so, you talk about, crack era, and the effects that, kids growing up from that, parents locked away, you might have a drug issue. And then on top of that, you can see racism, people calling you nigga to your face. And it's like you getting punched from every single side. And then it's like, I still got to get out here and fight. And then I'm dealing with people in my own community trying to fight me. So it's like how do we help ourselves get out of that and say, like, there is light at the end of the tunnel, but you're going to have to take a lot of hits to the face.
I just wanted to bring, I want to bring one,
take some blows.
I want to bring one point to
the
close. I just wanted to say that basically you're asking, like, what's the solution?
Absolutely,
Okay.
always.
So, let's bring it back to the solution. Mobilizing and hitting these streets.
That's right.
Hitting these corporations in the pocket where it hurts. Hitting these advertisers. where we don't do that. We can't just run out here and just be out here.
Yeah.
We gotta be out here with the plan.
And we can't wait for Dove to make a mistake.
Yeah.
We gotta already be on it.
We have to
So-
stop being reactive. So much of our movements are built on reacting to what happens to us.
Right.
I think we need to be, as a community, be more preemptive in what we're doing, think things through, educate the young adults, educate the children, educate our older adults so that we can effectively build sustainable change, something that can last far longer than us being on these streets, knocking on these doors.
And I just want to go one step further, absolutely, and say that we need to applaud and support our brothers in the NFL who are risking it all by taking a knee. I get a little upset sometimes when I'm like walking into establishments and I see, if we're really gonna protest, we gotta protest.
That's right.
There's no half step in here.
That's right.
And this is what frustrates me with any of whatever we try to do as Black people. We just cannot. We are not in a space. We're in ICU. We are in ICU right now.
Since we can.
And we need to start acting like that.
That's right.
Or else it can be someone next to us who's going to be the next hashtag.
That's right.
And until that happens is when you want to get in the fight. No, get in this fight.
That's right.
So I guess what I would say is for everyone to, kind of take yourself out of this situation. There's a lot of ego involved with these movements. It's not having anything to do with me. I want to watch football. Well, so what?
Right.
I feel like we need to get back in the trenches and going back to that education, because you can't deny self.
That's right.
Knowledge.
That's right.
That's
right.
There you go.
And when I learned my history, my true history, and what my people and people of color have contributed to this country, it's offensive for you to tell me, so what, get over it, that happened so many years ago, or these NFL players should just be grateful, you're getting a great check, aren't you? Well, no, we're not slaves anymore.
Exactly.
And I do have a First Amendment right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
And
That's
it's a peaceful protest. I'm not rioting in Charlottesville.
Yeah, with
You know,
torches.
we're not carrying tiki
Well,
torches.
technically, I was right.
You know what I mean? But like even then, the way they policed that situation was nothing I've ever seen before.
Okay.
As someone who's been on the front lines once before,
Right.
I've been on the front lines in fear.
It's a new
My
battleground
parents
for
are
us.
like,
Our
"Are you
generation.
sure you want to go out there?"
We would never be allowed to get that close to the
No, we
riot
would
line.
not be.
That's right.
The
And
way-
there's a bias there.
Yeah.
It
That's
is,
right.
and it's intentional. And
It was.
you
I mean,
just look at
Well,
the
our bodies are
boogeyman.
policed.
You gonna use that. That's gonna be the
Look
thing.
at the
Our bodies.
boogeyman
You know,
because someone is empowering that privilege.
Yeah.
I've been to so
Sorry.
many.
We're going to have to continue this conversation in post.
Okay.
Let me close out the show.
Okay,
I want to
okay,
thank y'all so
wow.
much for coming, because, on certain networks, you can
wow,
only
we
have,
know you did that
a
right
certain
there.
time slot,
I dig it.
So we want to continue this conversation, but let's close this out. And if people want to follow along more, they just got to wait till it comes out on YouTube or the Young Boss Station,
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right on.
So thank you so much for tuning in. This is another episode of The Vanguard. If you would like more, please go to YouTube and search for Young Boss Media. Thank you so much for everyone that came by. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's big, kid.
How was it?
All right. No.